I think a lot about people. I guess that's the best way to say it. As I mentioned before, there'd be a lot of words for actually to go through the full scope of like what's actually in my head. But I think that's the best way to say it. Is I think a lot about people. What the reality is like compared to mine, how I affect them. The things I say, the things I do. Because I don't know, I try to understand things by creating like psychological models in my head based on the circumstances and people's lives. So the more I know about, the more I know about somebody's life, the I can create a better psychological model to try to understand what's going on with them and like empathize with them, and then different things that they'll say will cue different things to me. And that's the best I have. The reality is I don't really know what life is like to other people, how people view me as something else. It's like, when I'm walking up to them, I can tell, I can tell certain things. Like I'll be outside, and based on the way people will talk to me or communicate with me, or their tone of voice, different things, I can tell different things. Like I can see their perspective of me. And most of the time, I'm the kid next door, and that has a lot to do with me also, because I typically project myself as the kid next door. And who's the kid next door? He's just somebody. He's just somebody that lives next door. He's somebody that lives next door, right? And they see me as kind of like the kid next door, because people see me and I can tell that they see me. I kind of have like this almost childish kind of antics, my ideology about things. I'm gonna do something. It sounds like too big, and it's like, whoa, okay, big man. But but I'm projecting myself as being very helpful most of the time and friendly, and then since they don't really know who I am, that's what it comes off as, is the kid next door. And then there's the people that do know who I am and know who I am based on my capabilities, and that is something completely different. Now, I don't know what they're experiencing. I don't know, I could say something to me that seems off, that seems completely normal, and helpful, and it's like completely crushes somebody, because of, like I'm tearing them down or something. When that was never my intent. So I don't know what things are things that are like for people, how they experience me, but I know that everyone's got their own, way of experiencing each other. I think it's important that we kind of figure that out. And like it's a day by day thing, just simply caring, like when someone's standing in front of you, okay, how am I affecting them? What are things like for them? What are they experiencing? Because people get upset so easy, but the reality is, they say things like, well, if I were you, the reality is, if you were them, you would be them. You would be them exactly, and you'd be making the exact same decisions that they'd be making. So it's important to, person by person, day by day, to understand where they're coming from in that position, so we can communicate best with each other and help each other. People's minds are so dramatically different from each other. Like, I don't think people really understand this. Is that we're communicating with each other because it happens, because it means something, right? Like me talking right now, it means something to you, but you're experiencing it from a frame of your life experiences, and it's extremely complex, who you are from your life experiences. And there's a place where things match if we were to take our minds and overlap them on each other, but there are things like assumptions, theories about why I'm speaking, things like that. They're completely different from person to person, and it's really difficult to understand people's motives. So it's not just, a thing about that it's good to be nice and not get upset with people and stuff. It's that there's actually no reason to get upset. Because whatever reason you come up with, whatever is going on is so complex beyond what you came up with. A lot of times people don't even have any of the picture of what's actually happened, and they're upset about it. So So that's why, I don't get upset with people, because I don't have a reason to be upset. I'm more focused on understanding, what's going on. When people do something that seems deviant. But most of the time, people look like they have a lot of issues. Most people in society seem that they have a lot of issues going on in their life, and obsessive compulsive disorders and a lot of different things. And I see these guys going down the street, and they're trying to rap. They're like singing their little rap songs and saying things, and in their world, that's normal, and their antics and the way that they wear their clothes and everything. To me, it makes me very sad, because they're not going to succeed. I know what makes successful rappers, and they're not going to succeed ever like that. And not only that, it's not only that they're wasting their life, it's that they are trapped in a place where it's difficult to reach them. When I was a teenager, I was actually a drug addict, and so I know a little bit about how they're experiencing life, and it's an extremely dark place. They don't even know how dark it is, because they haven't really experienced anything else, except for maybe if they remember their childhood, they can remember what the world looked like, right? And if they even make the connection that it's because of them, that the world looks one way or another, it looks dark or it doesn't look dark, it's because of them, it's because of what's going on inside them, that they're making their own reality through what they say things are. If you say it's a dark place, it's a dark place, because your mind, that's how it works. You're just saying it's a dark place, and if you believe it, it's a dark place, right? So it is a very dark place to be. So that's what I was thinking about. I don't know how I affect people. I come up with theories, I develop psychological models to try to understand the relationship between them and I. And I wish I did. I wish I knew how I affected people. It's important to me. It's important to me how I'm affecting people. If I hurt someone's feelings, I want to apologize. If someone has an attachment to me, I want to talk to them about it. If someone severely hates my guts, I want to know about it, right? Because I want to be able to solve that issue with them, because I don't know why they hate my guts. But anyhow, that's what I was thinking about, and I thought it was a good subject.